matter of time till Noma's bound down in front of us.
I like how you think, but if we f this up, this is gonna kill us, right?
Yeah, that's why we gotta vertically control every aspect of the game from distributor to supplier. That's how we become the apex predators and stay untouchable.
How does Tariq plan to vertically control every aspect of the game? He wants to control every aspect from the distributor to the supplier. That's how they become the apex predators and virtually stay untouchable. And there were actually a few good moves he did make in 406. For example, getting certain information from Anya, or the way he uses flash drive as leverage against Noma. But at the same time, with the dangerous game that he's playing, there will always be a target on his back. There's always going to be highs and lows, and that's what we're going to run through in this particular breakdown. We're going to look at every aspect of where Tariq is in terms of his chessboard, his conversation with Tasha. Could he end up under Carter's thumb just like the Tahadas, especially because of the CCTV footage? There's also his battle with Noma, Rashad Tate potentially asking him questions about his brother's death, and also problems with Brayden using coke, and why I feel that relationship is going to start to get a little out of control in all things Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4.
If you're in some kind of danger, I need to know.
I'm not Ghost. I can fix whatever problem I'm in.
Now, Tasha's been in witness protection ever since the end of Season 1. Why she still needs to remain there considering her and Tommy in essence squashed this beef, I'm not too sure. I'm sure if she wanted to come out of witness protection, she could. But maybe it does actually make sense that she does actually kind of stay away. We've all seen how Tariq is targeting Anya to get information on Noma, and if Tasha really was in and around New York, close to Tariq, then I'm sure that's something Noma would look to target, or even Detective Carter. Tasha would be a huge weakness that they definitely look to exploit, if they could get to her. But one thing we do know about Tasha is, if and when Tariq needs her for anything, she will always be there for him. So, in episode 7, we've got Tariq coming to see Tasha where she says she knows he's in trouble, with Tariq's response being he can fix whatever problem he's in. He's not Ghost. Now, for those who have seen my episode trailer breakdown, you already know that there is going to be a lot of parallels to Power Season 4, Episode 10. 407 of Ghost is titled I Can't Fix This, and 410 of Original Power was titled You Can't Fix This.
What happened to going clean?
I'm gonna take care of it.
There is no taking care of it! You can't fix this!
So, I do think with what's happening with Tariq in his life at this moment in time, with him just killing Zion, trying to deal with Noma, and especially him and Diana potentially on the verge of losing this baby, bringing Tasha back into his life at this particular moment is the perfect time.
Dad tried that, and it took him down.
Yeah, but you know he didn't do that shit right, Mom.
No. Ghost was a lot of things, but he wasn't stupid.
Now, I do think actually sometimes Tariq does need to get checked. From time to time, he does need to hear some hard truths, because his words from 402, he believes he's supposed to be smarter than everybody else. But that's one of the big problems with Tariq. He is smart, but so was Ghost. He was as smart as they come, but even he recognized at times he couldn't do everything on his own. Sometimes he had to turn to Tasha. Sometimes he had to rely on Tasha's help, even when they weren't on good terms. So, there is actually nobody better to put him back in his place, because Ghost's name definitely does deserve a bit more respect, but also guide him at the same time. We have to remember what she's been through in terms of what she knows about the drug world, what she learned while she was with Ghost, and specifically, losing a child in Raina. I do feel like Tasha can really put things into perspective for Tariq, in terms of the moves that he's making, or the moves that he needs to make in order to get to X, Y, or Z position. Just like she helped Ghost countless of times, or when she took over the situation when Tommy was in turmoil, Tasha's influence can't be underestimated. Now, she is also going to tell Tariq this baby is hope, and so at least at this moment in time, it does seem like this baby is still alive. I personally don't think it's going to stay that way, but let's see. But again, in terms of what Tasha's been through in losing Raina, experiencing the highs and lows in this drug world, I hope she reminds Tariq of what they've been through back in Power, what they've lost, and also what they've done. I hope she puts it all into perspective for Tariq, because she is the only one who can really sit him down and make him listen. Now, moving on, Tariq and Diana will at some point want to get revenge, that's for sure, especially if they do lose this baby. I'm sure Tariq will want to help Diana, or maybe Diana goes on a solo mission, who knows. But eventually, they are going to find themselves along with Monet in the bar with a gun pointed towards them by Detective Carter. And I wonder if Carter will end up having Tariq wrapped right around his finger, just like he has the Tahadas, specifically because of this CCTV footage. The safe house that Zion was holding up in had a camera in the corner and caught literally everything. So, not only is Felicia Lewis fucked when Carter finds out, because he did warn her, get it done quickly and quietly. He told her to get it done, not Diana, who then passed it off to Tariq. So not only did Felicia Lewis defy his orders, he's now got Tariq on CCTV taking the kill shot instead. And that is something that he could use to blackmail Tariq with. He's got him literally dead to rights in regards to Zion's murder, and that's not a position Tariq wants to be in. Ironically, just before part 2, in my Tariq character breakdown, I did also mention he's spilling way too much blood. I thought the Salim kill was a very messy kill that could potentially come back and haunt him, but it does seem like it might actually be Zion's kill which finds its way back to Carter, which then means Tariq finds himself working for Carter just like the Tejadas. So, Tariq is going to have to try and find a way to get his hands on this, all while trying to be there for Diana, dealing with Detective Carter, and also trying to stay 3 moves ahead of Noma.
I've been begging her to take me to Nigeria, like where her family's from, and she never does. She's like, oh my gosh, she's so selfish. She goes there all the time to visit her brother and never takes me.
Why's that?
She says it's not safe.
Now, he did actually play Noma really well in 406, and these were a couple of good chess moves that he did play. He used a flash drive to gain some respite because having leverage over a drug dealer in terms of their operation is always good to have. He also warned if anything will happen to him or Brayden, then the contents of this flash drive would go straight to law enforcement, as will all her secrets be exposed to Anya Covington, so it really was a very good move. He also played it very well in terms of using Zion to get back in Noma's good graces, using a bad situation in terms of what they had to do with Zion to a positive. But we all know when it comes to Noma and Tariq, they can never coexist. They can never coexist and work together, certainly not with Kane around. These two really hate each other, and in the back of both of their minds, they'll be thinking of ways to bring one another down. They're just going to buy their time and wait for the perfect opportunity. When Tariq does have one, or maybe even Noma, you can bet one of them definitely will pounce. And that brings me on to what Anya actually spilled in Tariq's dorm room. She mentioned that her and Noma do travel the world, but the one place she doesn't take Anya is Nigeria. Apparently she has a brother in Nigeria. So, just referring back to something I mentioned in my breakdown for episode 6, I threw out a little prediction or a theory that maybe the reason why Noma keeps Anya away from Nigeria is because that's actually the hub of her drug world. Maybe her brother is the actual connect. We all know Noma goes to extreme lengths to keep her drug world hidden from Anya, and it just makes sense as to why she's keeping her away from whatever she has in Nigeria. It has to be something in regards to a drug business. So, with this bit of information, you can bet that Tariq will dig into it. He will find a way to find out what Noma's hiding in Nigeria, and what the real deal is with her brother. Maybe someone who could potentially help is Rashad Tate. So, let's move on to the relationship between Rashad Tate and Tariq. Now, we all knew time was ticking for Kamal Tate, because he was always going to uncover Detective Carter's dirty task force. But what that's done is brought Rashad Tate back into the fold. He's not going to buy Carter's bullshit story in terms of what happened to his brother. Rashad Tate knows a bullshitter when he sees one. I mean, he's also in politics, he knows all about lies. So, I do feel at some point in part 2, whether it's in episode 7 or in another episode, Tate will approach Tariq to see if he can kind of get him any answers. Maybe Tariq even makes him a deal. You dig into the info in regards to Noma's background, and I'll find out who killed your brother. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Because I do feel like Tariq will need the help of Tate to win a few of his battles, especially when it comes to Detective Carter. I really do feel like Rashad Tate could be the key to bringing him and his dirty task force down. The man with the influence, the man with all the connections, he's going to find himself having something in common with Tariq, which is bringing down Go Season 4's villain in Detective Carter.
Yeah, I'll it's fired.
What do you mean we fired?
We got no light trending on college campuses everywhere. Every show is sold out. What the f*** is this about? Is this hell?
Nah, it was a group decision. After that Snow White did it you pulled on stage last night.
Now, elsewhere on Tariq's chessboard, I do think we need to keep a close eye on his relationship with Brayden. Just before season 4, the synopsis did tease that eventually Tariq will have a decision to make. Part of the synopsis read the following: Season 4 will find Tariq St Patrick and Brayden against the world as they form new alliances and find their way back in the game. But when Brayden starts flirting with a new reckless lifestyle, Tariq wonders if there's really room for two at the top. And this really is a big problem going forward. Brayden has been down for whatever, whenever, and he has been there for Tariq. But I do think there will be moments which do test their brotherhood, Elle definitely being one of the main problems. She knows way too much about their drug operation, and I still do think she could be a liability. They haven't built this relationship up with Brayden for no reason. They haven't got Brayden on coke for no reason either. Brayden will start to get a lot crazier and a lot more unpredictable, maybe even unreliable. and I do think Elle will hold all the cards in regards to which direction Brayden's character goes in next in part 2. Now elsewhere, there was also an exclusive clip that dropped for episode 7, where Stokely comes into Tariq's room and fires them as the promoters of Stansfield's group. That's where we're going to see Tariq and Stokely have this little scuffle, so that might be a bit of an issue for both of them, which definitely will cause even more problems. If they're fired from the underground parties, then how do they move their product and get paid? Just another issue to add to Tariq's plate. Let's see how he deals with it. But that's where we are in terms of Tariq's chessboard in part 2. We're going to see Tasha's return, potentially Tariq wrapped around Carter's thumb because of this. He'll no doubt dig into what Noma is hiding in Nigeria, as well as Rashad Tate's return and his complications with his relationship with Brayden. So drop all your thoughts and predictions down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.